taking our time to come to our hub. This is TechX Innovation Hub, situated here in the city of Enugu. Of course, TechX means technology extra. The thing about technology is that it's not useful until it's applied. So we are here to see how we can harness the ingenuity of the people within this ecosystem, within the region, to incubate them, mentor them, and also for startups to see how we can scale them up to the next level. While I was at the Nigerian Communications Commission, I had, in collaboration with the Young Innovators of Nigeria, asked them to do a mapping of the ecosystem. And they carried out the mapping of the ecosystem. And the report of that mapping was really very disappointing. It was discovered that the level of ICT penetration in the Southeast generally was really very, very low, abysmal, so to speak. And so, in collaboration with the Young Innovators, especially Andrew Abu, the president of Young Innovators, we now began to see how we can organize techies within the ecosystem to see the kind of mentoring, the kind of support that can be given to them so they can scale up their innovation to the point where it can become useful. And that goal dovetails into what our vision is, that is to say that technology has to be applied in order to be useful to humans. And what technology does is that it simplifies human processes. It translates what looks like a problem and brings solution into them, simplifying them. It brings in efficiency into businesses and reduces cost in businesses. So we now figured out that, look, there was a need to really show very strong presence in this place. So after I exited the Nigerian Communications Commission, I began to work on this particular idea, and then also with Andrew Abu from the Young Innovators of Nigeria supporting. And what you see today is the translation of that idea into a tangible product. And what we are supposed to be doing in this place is to provide a platform for innovators, platform for startups, platform even for the youth, secondary school, primary school, where they can begin to have hands-on experiences, on the utilization of ICT. We have also discovered that there is this ICT phobia amongst a certain level of youths, especially those of them who have never from childhood embraced technology in their homes, either through the use of smartphones or have access to laptops. And so, but our phobia is broken now when you now bring them into a place like this and give them just some kind of training. So basically, it is like some kind of corporate social responsibility as well as social enterprise with a view to taking people off the streets. Now, a young man, for instance, who can get into Yahoo or whatever it is they call it. Now, those kind of ideas that he has to do those things that are really not too good or really not too productive can also be turned into something productive. They can come up with some kinds of innovations that can become a big global appliance application, really. So that is why we're here, and we believe that we should be able to impact the ecosystem with what we intend to do here. We also have co-working spaces. We also have facilities for training for anyone that wants to conduct the training within this region. We have multimedia solution for training, in this particular hub. We have program services within the hub that people can utilize for the internet services and things like that. So basically, yes, that's what it is all about. Now you can see from the background the things that we're about to do here: coding, gaming, web development, digital innovation, digital marketing, programming of all kinds, young people can come in here to learn JavaScript and Python and all of those things that kind of are the foundation that you need to begin to get into the area of writing codes, that will lead to some kind of a product in the end. So yes, we're here, and we shall be collaborating with stakeholders within the ecosystem, universities within the ecosystem, um, tertiary institutions generally, secondary schools, and then primary schools, those of them that have uh, young children who are interested in getting into technology, will grow on programs of how they can actually be trained, either during the holidays or some kind of special programs arranged for them within their locations. I'm aware that the NCC has done a lot in terms of providing ICT infrastructure for secondary schools. So we're looking at how also maybe possibly partner with NCC to see how we can also utilize those facilities in those locations to provide some kind of training the trainer kind of program, so that people who are trained can now train the students. One of the things that we've discovered really that is not too impressive is that some of those computers that have been supplied, they are not being utilized, and so it's not really delivering the kind of value they ought to deliver. And I think that is where we're going to be partnering with NCC, to see how we can put those things to very good use in terms of, providing some kind of training and support in all of those locations where we have these facilities available. Basically, those are the things that we also open to partnership with state governments, especially in the area of e-government and in the area of maybe adoption of technology for their processes in government. The fear a lot of people normally have is that when technology comes, some people will lose their jobs. No, but people can be retrained. People can actually be retrained in such a way that they now become the operators of those technologies in those places. So really, those are some of the things that we're here to do, and we believe that we're going to make progress. We're going to gain traction and see what happens between now and the end of the year.
Okay, we understand you have an IoT lab coming up here.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about this?
Well, of course, that is where the world is going. Internet of Things. We're about to have an IoT lab here. We will be partnering with some major stakeholders in that area. Original equipment manufacturers, maybe organizations like Google and all of that, to see the kind of support. Techies, technical organizations, especially in the area of equipment, and also in the area of branding of those products, maybe the proprietary products in the area of IoT. They could actually come here. We have a place where they can display some of those products, so that people can see that IoT is real and it's here already. So we have a place where you can have some of those products on display, which also would be a kind of provide a kind of spark for the youth that are coming in to see, look, oh, so this is an area that actually I can actually get into, and then they begin to work towards playing in that particular area.
What areas can you help some businesses in the ecosystem? For instance, there are some businesses that ought to be up 24 hours. For instance, the discos, this area, which need some smart solutions.
Yeah.
Instead of being alive 24 hours, during the weekends they go on break, which shouldn't be. And when people want to need their services, they don't know where to go. Is there how this hub can help them?
Yeah, one of the ways you can do that is outsourcing. There are solutions, kind of contact center solutions that are actually automated, with an area, and gives you options of what you can do. If, for instance, you are calling in for some kind of service, so you can say, okay, for this press 1, for this press 2. Then when you do all of those, then there's already a prompt that is going to tell you exactly what to do and then resolve. Now, some of those challenges also can be resolved remotely, through some kinds of troubleshooting from our location here. Especially, for instance, we have partnership with such institutions, government, hotels, businesses, in this particular location. Some of them also don't really have even simple website, where you can have a contact between people that have the need and then the services that they are providing. So this is the kind of place where we can make proposals to them in terms of providing that kind of portal or platform where they can exchange services with their with their customers. So for those kind of places, things like database management, for instance, like hotels, for instance, how would they know the number of visitors that they have in a year? Because those are the things that can help them plan. How would you know the occupancy rate, for instance, without necessarily having to count the rooms that are empty? You should be able to have a system where it automatically tells you how many people are in the hotel, how many rooms are empty. Then at the end of the month, you should be able to analyze the trend for you, the occupancy rate for that particular month. So those are the kind of services that we can provide to hotels. Simple solutions that can help them, have that kind of data management at the end of every month, at the end of every year, which will help them to plan, and will also help them with serious social media presence. A good number of them are not on the social media. So we need to see how we can also, create some presence for them on the social media, because the world is social, these days. So we want to see how we can create serious social media presence for them, and then so that people can get to know them. Everyone, for instance, that is coming within this region should know that this kind of hotel exists there. And I just want to give you an example. Now, we wanted to get some chairs for our hall. And then we said, okay, let us go to Google to see where we can buy these chairs. And then we went to Google. And then we saw one at New Haven. And we got to New Haven, we asked, we want to buy chairs. He said, look, we just have a few. We normally buy them from Onitsha. We said, okay, let us check Onitsha to see where we can get chairs. And then we went to Google. And we didn't find a single business on the Google that sells chairs. Meanwhile, this man buys those chairs from Onitsha. So the thing is this. Now, if those businesses in a place like Onitsha, they have social media presence, they have websites, they are out there on the internet, people can have access to them. There's a provision for online payment platform. Then I don't have to go to Onitsha to buy products from Onitsha. I can do it online, probably pay for shipping, and then it is shipped to where I am. So those are the kind of solutions that I want to bring, to the ecosystem.
I know one of your friends, or maybe will have asked you, why not Abuja? Why not Lagos? Why Enugu?
Well, what I told you that in collaboration with the Young Innovators of Nigeria, we carried out an ICT mapping for the Southeast. And the report was abysmal. It was a very shameful report. The ICT penetration here is one of the lowest in the country. And so there is a need really to address that, because there is a serious digital divide, even within the country. And so we have to be able to address the issue of digital divide, even nationally. And a place like Northeast also, the insurgency they are having there is a serious digital divide in the Northeast. So the Northeast and the Southeast actually are having very, very low penetration in terms of ICT. But I believe that can change, because even within the Enugu metropolis alone, within Enugu we have about 12 universities, between 10 and 12 universities, if I'm right, or tertiary institutions. And so this is like a place where you should actually have a Silicon Valley kind of existence. You should have something here that would encourage research and development, where institutions can have proprietary products that can become of a global application that will generate revenue for those universities. So the reason why we are here is because, one, there is a serious digital divide here. The ICT penetration is very low, and we believe there is need to rescue that situation. And then secondly, we believe that a lot of youths within this area are ingenious. We had a meeting yesterday with some young techies, and the kind of product, the kind of things that they are doing is just mind-blowing. And meanwhile, nobody knows about these things. So we believe that with our presence here, it will be possible for us to see how we can create a kind of synergy and relationship, and then also get people who might be interested, some investors that would be interested in what they are doing, angel investors that may want to be part of what they're doing, some investors that may want to either take equity or maybe probably even buy up whatever products that they have. So that's the reason why we're here, because one, we want to harness the ingenuity of the youth in this place, and two, we want to also address the issue of unemployment, because we discovered that unemployment is at an all-time high in this region. And why is it so? Because there are very few federal institutions, there are very few businesses, factories that are here can actually mop up a number of people that are graduating from schools. And so the point is that now, since you don't have ready-made jobs for them or jobs for them, now you can create a platform where the person can, that's his ingenuity, and have a product that can transform him from being a farmer to a billionaire. And it has happened all around the world with young techies, people like Mark Zuckerberg, for instance, like the Bill Gates of this world and all of those. Young men who just by sheer dint of hard work and imagination came up with applications that are blowing the world today. So really, that's why we're here. We're here because there is a need to stem the tide of unemployment. There is a need to tap the ingenuity of the young men. There is a need to create a platform for them to express this ingenuity, come up with products that would also they'll be able to make a living from that, and also that could become of a global application. So, those are the reasons that actually we're seeing.
Two set of people I want you to talk to there now. The Easterners in diaspora, maybe not abroad, but in Lagos, Abuja, who are afraid of coming here to invest on the young people and the government.
Well, one thing also, I'm not here because I'm an Easterner. I'm here because I'm a Nigerian who have identified a gap that I need to fill. Now, we're not necessarily a regional hub, we're a global hub. Now, because this is going to be replicated in different parts of this country as time goes on in Abuja and in Lagos, as the case may be. Now, because technology actually knows no boundaries. All right? But what I want to also say to people from within this ecosystem is that there is need also to create presence here, so that our youths who are roaming the streets, who are looking for negative ways of earning a living, there will be opportunity for them. By the time we have replication that picks in one or two or three people, and we have like about 30 organizations, that takes at least 3 minutes, at least 90 people will be off the street. And those 90 people, within a very short time, their lives can be transformed. So what we are saying is this: yes, you're in Lagos and you're Abuja and you have made fortune. You have a lot of resources. There's also need to put something within this region that will create an employment, even if it's one or two persons that it can absorb. At least that would go a long way, because there is a kind of a ripple effect for one person that you pick from a family that is earning a little living. There are lots more of the people there that can benefit from that. People can pay school fees. People can at least have a decent living. And just one little by little drops of water here and there makes an ocean. So that's just what I would like to say to them.